Time Travelers of the Bible by Gary Stearman. I haven't read it, but I've seen a lot of interviews about Time Travelers of the Bible by Gary Stearman. Awesome. There are time travelers, straight up. You ready? Number one. Enoch traveled time and space. He was taken up. He saw heaven. Enoch must be like one of God's best friends or something. He must love Enoch. I have read a good amount of Enoch, especially the early Enoch stuff that's really accredited. So they say the latter Enoch 3, 4, 5 level volumes, they're like, we don't know, it's probably, folklore and this and that. Whatever, it's cool. But Enoch's time traveler. He saw future. He saw space. That guy transcended, man. Who else is a time traveler? Did you know that Moses was a time traveler? Well, who do you think was at the Transfiguration with Jesus? Showed up, appeared. Him and Elijah is a time traveler. And both of those guys come back again in the tribulation period. Most likely, the two witnesses are Moses and Elijah. Could be Enoch and Elijah, those two of the guys that never died. Are there any more guys that never died? No, I think just Enoch and Elijah are the two that never died that we know of. Whoa! Almost, jeez, that truck almost drove right out in front of me. Time travelers. Now, the greatest time traveler is John. The disciple John, he was a young boy when Jesus called him. They say he was probably like somewhere from like 14, 15, 16 years old. Got the call and followed the guys around. Had an older brother, and he followed around Jesus. Dude, there's crazy theories about John. This is amazing. But see John in the book of Revelations, he saw the future. He's standing there watching it all play out. He was up to the throne room while the 24 elders were there. Yet that stuff was to take place in the future, hadn't even taken place yet. Those people hadn't even been born yet, and yet they were up in heaven as part of the 24 elders. Who knows who those people are? Wow. It makes you wonder a little bit, like when we're up there celebrating, will we see John? Like, will there be a time paradox where John experiences, and then yet we're there and we see him? We don't know. It's a little bit of a time paradox. So there are time travelers. My favorite time traveler, more of a transporter, is Philip. That guy was able to witness to one dude after Jesus died, and then poof, got taken away and plopped into a different city in a second. He was a transporter. I've always felt like I wanted that experience, and I felt like that gift is upon me, but I don't know how to exercise it. What are you supposed to say? Poof, transport, go. You know what I mean? Like, is it from the Holy Spirit? But if you're driving a car, does the car transport with you? So that'd be dangerous. Transport now, and then, I'm somewhere else, but the car just keeps going. That would not be good, right? If we exercised all the gifts, and we operated that way, we would cause destruction. So God has to temper us a little bit as we learn. Awesome though, wouldn't it? I think I have that gift, man, transportation, but I just don't know how to use it. Just because I don't know how to use it doesn't mean I don't have it. Right? You can't prove it. You can't prove that I don't, but you can't prove that I do either. So, John. Oh, it's a silly day today. I feel like doing a million cartwheels. Ba ba da la la, cartwheels down the road. What the hell's that guy doing? There's that cartwheel guy again. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, there's this guy. He's just always doing cartwheels down the road. I used to be famous for my cartwheels, man. You have no idea. Cartwheels. I couldn't do like a back handspring or cool flips, but I could do some sharp-ass cartwheels, man. Sharp. Stand up. Cartwheel all the way down the basketball court. Score a bucket, cartwheel all the way back down. Yes, true story. Of course, I wasn't ever on the team, but, you know, practice and playing ball and all that kind of stuff. I was a big-time cartwheeler. So anyway, with John, another cool thing is, so at the end of Jesus's life, actually, he resurrected, and he's talking to Peter, and they're walking, and Jesus goes, you know, he tells Peter kind of his future, and then they're all like, well, what about this guy? What about John? And the funny thing is, the answer there initially is like, well, what do you care what I do with John? Care about yourself. There's a lesson there, right? But they were like, and then Jesus alludes to, if I want him to live, what's it to you? And it's such a mystery. It's such a like, what? Why are you being so harsh? They just want to know, what about John? Is he gonna... So there was always this rumor around John that he would not die. And if you look at the history of John, written by the church fathers and the, you know, the Catholic stories, hard to know. But they say the guy was dipped in boiling oil several times and would not burn. And that they tried to kill John several times, could not kill him. And that's one of the reasons why he was marooned out in the island of Patmos, because the guy would not die. And so, thank God, right? Amazing. I mean, there's a lot of stories like that in the Bible. Look, God... Okay, well, let me get too far ahead of myself. John... And so, I think... you got to know, John saw the destruction. He was the youngest disciple, and he lived for a really long time, into his hundreds. John saw the destruction of the temple and was marooned to the island after that, and then wrote the Revelation, and then got free and spent time with Polycarp. I don't know where, maybe Antioch or where the heck he went, but he had a home church. Was it Ephesus? One of them was John's home church, and he was the old man, the old Yoda that lived there. And I think there's writings of how John, as long as he was alive, they all kind of felt like, okay, if John dies, then the Lord will come back. It was just something they thought. I mean, obviously it wasn't true. So, there's been rapture watchers since the very beginning. Now, you cannot justify it after that temple's destroyed and the Jews are all over the world. It makes sense that they would stop believing in certain theories, because there's literal promises in the Bible that cannot be ignored. They had to allegorize them for thousands of years. Martin Luther, all the greats in the past, they would read stuff about Israel and go, well, this ain't true, so they're never going to be a nation again, so we got to make this about that. And then they say, well, then the Revelation is all just kind of a metaphor. And look, those days of reading the Bible as just a metaphor and just a story, those days are over. Okay? CERN is going to open up and literal dragons and frog monsters are going to come out of the middle of the earth. Literal. Literal monsters are coming out. Sting, boom, people have got like robot chips in their arms and they've got sores and they can't die. And yet they're watching the two witnesses all the time on screens. And then they send gifts to one another. Like the Venmo. I mean, they're already like, we're already right there. You can watch past. Technology's already right there. So you got these transporters and you got these time travelers and you got these monsters that live in the middle of the earth. And yes, probably some Nephilim types that got into a UFO went up off the earth into the stratosphere while the flood happened and they averted judgment there. So that's all coming back. The miniseries. It's right here. But, none of that. It's funny because we're just warning you. Because we know, people who know the Lord, people who have done the scriptures, we know the restrainer lives inside of us. And none of it can pop off like the craziness that we all feel is coming. Cannot, will not pop off completely until the church is pulled out. So this whole thing about being a watchman, talking about it, sharing it, ultimately, it's encouraging for one another because then we ultimately get reminded, man, none of this crazy stuff's going to happen until we're gone. But bottom line for me, somebody see this and come to Jesus before it's too late, man. That's one of my things, let me tell you. I just, from now on, if I see somebody on the street and it gets to that point where it's like, okay, it's time to tell this person about Jesus, usually I go, hey, you got Jesus, man? You got him? You need inside you? And I look in their eyes. You got Jesus? Well, they go. I'm going to say, hey, from now on, I'm just going to straight up. Listen, man, you better figure that out because you ever read the book of Revelation? You know how easy it is to evangelize now? Just go, hey, you ever read the book of Revelation? Yeah, AI's in there. Aliens are in there. Okay, it's all, everything that, there's a little bit of whispers, a little bit of shadows, a little bit of things that are going on in the world. It's all in there, but it's coming out full force. Check it out. Get people weirded out. Then they'll go look. Maybe. Hopefully. There's a fun little ending to it. I'm going to start doing a little bit crazier stuff sometimes. Really go freestyle and let it out. It's just one of them goofy days, I think. Hopefully I don't do anything stupid. With goofy days, I can get really, really crazy. Lord, protect me on my stupidity. Save me from myself. Bless my miracle book. Thank you. All right, I haven't written in a few days. That's what I'll do today. Bless me. Pray for me. My brothers, come on. Give me a prayer. Let's finish that book. Let's finish strong. Can't wait to share it, man. Give everybody on here just like access. When I have a first draft, you send me your email and then I'll like share it with you and you can read it and we can collab on this thing. I'm telling you, it's incredible. I have over 60 miracles listed in there. Some of them aren't mega supernatural. Some of them are little tiny miracles. Some of them are preternatural miracles. Some of them are timing miracles. Like there's all kinds of different ones. All right. I'm going to go take a nap. See ya.